Hello and welcome to Newsfeed on Trust TV. I am Sumaya Abubakar, taking you through the stories trending online that people are talking about and sharing around the globe today. Police dismissed 3 officers caught on tape firing gunshots in the air to hype a Kano-based musician. Olalekan Jacob Ponle has entered a guilty plea with the U.S. authorities, agreeing to surrender $8 million in proceeds of wire fraud. Popular businesswoman Adenike Adewumi Adebisi dies ahead of 50th birthday while pregnant with her first child. And police arrest tech exec for mother of Cash App founder Bob Lee. Now, top of what's trending today, we have the Nigerian police force who have dismissed 3 of its officers caught on tape firing gunshots just to hype a musician, Dauda Kahuta Rarara, in Kano State recently. In a video that went viral, the officers serving as escort to the singer opened the door to the SUV he rode in and then fired gunshots into the air to hype him as his fans gathered to hail him. A statement released by the force spokesperson CSP Olumuyiwa Adejobi on Thursday, April 13, 2023, says subsequent to complaints and findings on the video evidence that was widely circulated on social media, the officers attached to the Special Protection Unit SPU Base 1 Kano were subjected to an orderly room trial and have been dismissed for the offences of discreditable conduct, to wit misuse of firearms, abuse of power, gross indiscipline and wastage of live ammunition. The trio, Inspector Lahiru Shwaibu, Sergeant Abdullahi Badamasi and Sergeant Isa Ladi, were attached to a musician in Kano on escort duties. In the course of their duty on Friday, 7th April 2023 at Kahuta Village, Katsina State, the officers repeatedly fired shots from their official firearms into the air, despite police policy against firing in the air, standard operating procedure and relevant force orders, and disregarding the possible risks to the crowd at the location, which included children. The act was not only criminal and unprofessional, but also embarrassing to the force and the nation at large. The Nigerian police force hereby wants all officers to ensure they carry out their duties in line with the extant laws to avoid running foul of its provisions and attracting attendant sanctions. Supervising officers have also been tasked to ensure continuous and detailed lectures of their men, to ensure that they are well acquainted with all necessary standard operating procedures. A netizen wrote that the policeman on the plain black t-shirt has been smiling all through the trial. Another said, "A nice one, but I am thinking, what will they be doing after their dismissal? I don't trust police officers that are dismissed. They are likely, to become armed robbers." And another said that they went to do small show off. Hope the musician hires them for life though. Next on what's trending, we have Olalekan Jacob Ponle, better known as Mr. Woodbury, who has entered a guilty plea with the U.S. authorities, agreeing to surrender $8 million in proceeds of wire fraud, as well as regular, luxury cars and watches to the foreign government. The flamboyant internet fraudster had at first, plead not guilty to the 8-count fraud charge brought against him for engaging in a scheme known as Business Email Compromise (BEC). However, a plea declaration submitted at the United States District Court of the Northern District of Illinois Eastern Division on April 6, 2023 revealed Mr. Woodbury is now pleading guilty to count 1 of the indictment. According to his plea agreement, he was required to repay the $8 million he fraudulently received from the 7 companies that fell for his scam. Mr. Ponle was also asked to waive his right to the luxury cars and designer watches that he had stashed in Dubai. Last year, he had forfeited 151.8 Bitcoin, roughly $6 million, to the American government, determined to recover all stolen monies from the Nigerian fraudster. Mr. Ponle was arrested in Dubai on June 10, 2020, alongside Ramon Hushpuppi Abbas, currently serving an 11-year sentence for a similar fraud charge. A netizen commented, "At the end of the day, let's always have sympathy for our fellow humans. You all stop trying to, live big on someone else's sweat. God is watching us all." Someone said, "Let me just face my military job. Nothing beats legit hustle." And another said, "Don't let no one deceive you on this gram. Majority are flossing with huge debts hanging over their head. Most are involved, linked or centered around nefarious activities. And you see that, your legitimate hustle that you're doing, bro, babe, continue. It would pay." Next on What's Trending, we have popular businesswoman Adenike Adewumi Adebisi, who dies ahead of 50th birthday while pregnant with her first child. Now, Facebook users are mourning a businesswoman and blogger who died just hours after sharing a post on the platform. Adenike, the founder of Nikki's World blog, died on Thursday, April 13, 2023. She was pregnant at the time of her death. Adenike had been hoping for a child for decades and finally got pregnant at 49. She was reportedly hoping to mark her 50th birthday with the birth of her first child. Sadly, she complained of shortness of breath on Thursday, April 13th, and died before getting to the hospital, according to reports. Her last post was about Face Me, I Face You houses and was shared shortly before her death. She is currently trending on Facebook as users mourn her. A netizen said, if God can just, give me one before I reach 40, I will be happy because I am so scared of after 40 pregnancy. May her soul rest in peace. Another said her pregnancy was a very high risk. And someone said that someone will ask, what do women bring to the table? Her life, which is expensive. Next on What's Trending, we have a Texas man who was sentenced to 70 years in prison on Wednesday, April 12, 2023, after he was found guilty of multiple charges, including spitting at Lubbock police officers during an arrest on May 2022. Larry Pearson, 36, was arrested in May 2022 for domestic violence after a victim flagged down an officer in the Northeast Lubbock. Prosecutor Jessica Gorman said. The victim told police that Pearson had hit her several times and that he had a gun. Gorman said that the firearm turned out to be an airsoft gun. A police report at the time stated the victim had multiple visible injuries on her face. Gorman said after Pearson was taken into custody, he was upset, the victim was not arrested instead. That is when he started kicking at the doors in the police officer's vehicle. When the officers opened the door to tell him to stop, Gorman said he spit at both officers. During closing arguments of the sentencing phase of Pearson's trial, the prosecutor asked the jury to consider a number that would send a message to Pearson and society. She said Pearson had prior convictions of aggravated robbery and continuous family violence. A netizen commented, spitting on someone's face is disrespectful, but to give him 70 years is insane. Someone asked, what is the race of the judge? I want to check something. And another said, not only spitting, dude has multiple charges. Stop misleading people with your caption. Now let's take a short break, and when we come back, you will see what a man did to increase his height. Stay tuned. Welcome back. It's Newsfeed. A short man has gone to extreme length to increase his height by 5 inches by undergoing excruciating surgeries. Moses Gibson from Minneapolis, Minnesota, U.S. experienced heightism from a young age, and his 5 feet 5 inches frame saw him struggling to get a woman. The 41-year-old tried out medication that promised to help him grow and even reached out to a spiritual healer in his pursuit for a taller figure. He nearly gave up hope until he came across a painful procedure that involves breaking multiple bones. Moses gained 3 inches after undergoing his first round of surgery in 2016 and now hopes to reach his goal height of 5 feet 10 inches by June 2023 after undergoing a second surgery. He has spent a total of $160,000 on the intense procedure, but says it's all worth it after being unhappy for years. A netizen commented, with the money he used for the surgery, he would have, used half of it to get a fully detached duplex in Abuja, start up business, and babes will follow him. Another said, when you hear insecurity, that is a serious enemy that everyone needs to fight and shut it up when the thoughts start creeping in. Why will you go through all this pain just so you prove, to a woman that will love you, that you are now tall? And it is everywhere that you undergo surgery to get the small inch you increased. Another wrote, but let's not lie, the height made a difference. Just saying. Next on What's Trending, we have CCTV footage who captures final moments of Italian-Nigerian volleyball star Giulia Ituma, who died after falling from 6th floor hotel window in Turkey. The unfortunate incident occurred just hours after her team, Igor Gonzola Novara, was knocked out of their Champions League semi-final clash in Turkey. The 18-year-old Italian volleyball star of Nigerian origin was found dead on Thursday morning, April 13, 2023, at her hotel in Istanbul, Turkey, following her team's loss. In the security footage from inside the hotel, Ituma is seen walking slowly while on the phone. She then sat outside the door of, to her room for about an hour in a pensive and thoughtful way before entering her room for the last time, police said. Local police confirmed that they have launched an investigation into the incident. Her body has since been sent to, for forensic examination to determine the cause of the tragic death. Ituma was born in 2001 in Milan to Nigerian parents and was considered one of the most promising talents in Italian volleyball. She started playing volleyball at the age of 11. A netizen said, "Who knew what she was told after she lost the game?" Another said, that moment that she sat down to think, only God knows what was running through her mind. A little word of encouragement would have gone a long way in pulling her through. Be nice with your words. You don't know what the next person might be going through. And someone said, if it is about losing the game, I feel parents need to start telling their children, know that winning and losing is part of life, and that any one of these two can happen to human being in life. As such, if the worst happens, never you beat yourself up. Hard, but it is the reality of life. Next on What's Trending, we have police in San Francisco who have arrested a tech executive for stabbing mother of Cash App founder Bob Lee. The father of two, 43, was stabbed just after 2:30 a.m. on April 4th, 2023 in the ritzy neighborhood of Rincon Hill, and Lee allegedly knew his killer, Mission Local reported. Police are yet to confirm the identity of the suspect, but Mission Local reports he is a fellow tech executive who lives in the Bay Area. It is unclear if the man attended the same tech conference Lee was in town for, but the pair were seen in a car together at around 2:30 a.m., moments before the stabbing. They had some kind of confrontation that led to attack, according to police sources. Lee somehow staggered out of the car and was picked up on surveillance footage struggling to walk nearby afterwards. The harrowing surveillance footage shows Lee stumbling through the city streets after being stabbed. Lee called 911 himself, telling them that he had been stabbed and needed help. By the time cops arrived, he was unconscious and later succumbed to his injuries at the hospital later that morning. A netizen wrote, "Stop telling people your business ideas and plans. This is really sad." Another wrote, "It is always the ones closest to you." And someone commented, "I knew another tech bro will be the prime suspect. So sad. Too many jealousy and envy in this world." And lastly, onto a funny video of a man who turned into a flying monkey because of a goat. Take a look. No, that was funny. And that is all on Newsfeed today on Trust TV. Follow us and subscribe to all our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Bye.